Well, blessed Monday to you as we come with your daily encouragement. And we're going to have a little focus on Proverbs 2. Now, where that fits with what we've been studying on Sunday morning is that Jesus uh, manifests the love of God and what it means to live out a righteous life, if not a Christian life. That's what he manifests. And we find that call in the books of the Old Testament and specifically in Proverbs. And so Proverbs 2 is the call to the person learning what it means to live out God's love, to live out a righteous life. And so we have examples of that. We're going to read for a couple verses each day. And as we go through that, and it doesn't give us specifics besides telling us to pursue what it means to be righteous. And if we found that in Jesus Christ, which we believe as Christians, this is a way to live out that life. And so the writer of Proverbs, which we believe is King Solomon, says, "My child, if you accept my words and treasure up my commandments within you, making your ear attentive to wisdom and inclining your heart to understanding, if you indeed cry out for insight and raise your voice for understanding, if you seek it like silver and search for it as for hidden treasures, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God." So let's go through this. It is starting out with the father-son relationship that we are to have. And that's what Jesus helps us enter into. We are now children of God, not just children of wrath, but children of God. And so the Father is helping us to accept that relationship. And that means to trust that relationship. Treasure up my commandments within you. What does it mean to treasure up? Some have even discerned that it means tasting, taking in. So we start not with a knowledge of what the commandments are necessarily all about and what they can do for our lives, but we start out with a trusting relationship that we have already been in relationship with someone as a parent or as a mother or father. And so it is with Luther in his small catechism when he talks about praying the prayer, Our Father. He says it assumes that there's already a relationship there. And we expect, hopefully, now this doesn't always happen, but we expect that when we have a father-son relationship or a father-daughter relationship or a child-parent relationship, we're going to have someone's going to give us good commandments. They're going to give us good knowledge. And so it says, treasure up the commandments within you. It doesn't mean that we're going to understand them at this point, but we're treasuring them up, making our ear attentive to wisdom. Now, Jesus has always been a personification of wisdom in the New Testament, just as it is considered prophetic that wisdom comes in the Old Testament. Wisdom was not considered God, but a gift of God, and usually personified in a feminine form, very similar to what we have with the word nispa or mishpah in Hebrew, which means wisdom or Sophia. It is something that we desire, and we believe that we found that in Jesus Christ. And inclining your heart to understanding. You see, your heart in the Hebrew Bible was the equivalent of your mind. And each as you grow in those commandments, you gain understanding. So let's review where we've been here so far. We start with the idea that you're a child, and the only thing you have is a relationship with your parent. So you ask, what should I do? And the parent guides you with commandments. You don't know why you're commanded to do those things, but as you grow in understanding, your heart and your mind come to understand the direction that your parent is going. And if you indeed cry out for insight and raise your voice for understanding, if you seek it like silver and search for it like hidden treasures, that you're going to find something, that you're going to find understanding, that you move from that just the commandments to an understanding of why you have the commandments, then you will understand the fear of the Lord. Remember in Luther's explanation of the Catechism, he says we are to fear and love God. That means respect. That means to understand that God is more powerful than I. We are to fear the Lord and find knowledge of God, knowing that God is all good. That's where we have the English word for God and the English word for good. They are related to one another. The ultimate good is the ultimate God in our life. And so we pray that God, starting from commandments, growing into understanding, will show us what the ultimate good is in the world. And that's where we get to a level of sophistication, where we are able to say, aha, I've moved beyond just commandments. I can see that that is good and that is evil. I'm beginning to have some understanding here. Now, we had to go back a little bit because in the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth and placed Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, there was a choice that humanity made. The choice was to live with that parental relationship where we just are obedient to God. But the devil came in and tempted us and said, you know what? You can eat from the knowledge of good and evil. That's the tree that was tempting both to Eve and to Adam, so that they could be on the equivalency of God. They were created in God's image, but now that they could try to learn understanding. And that, of course, led to the fall of humanity. But since that has happened, we live in a tension between getting back that old understanding of just being obedient, listening to the commandments, and also, on the other hand, trying to gain some understanding of what it means to do good and what it means to avoid evil. And so in these first passages here in Proverbs 2, we are exhorted to move from just commandments to understanding. And in understanding, we find ourselves in a relationship with God, with the good, with the things that are right in this world. And we believe that we can find that in Jesus Christ. Look through this passage again. It is more than just a cursory read. It is something that we are called to take in, imbibe, if not drink in, take in, eat. Taste and see, the psalmist says, that the Lord is good. God bless you today. We trust that these are words of encouragement. Take care. God bless. We'll see you next time.